You're already eating less calories, you're doing a lot more cardio, you even tried cutting out carbs. So why might your body feel slower instead of lighter and leaner? If you want to boost your metabolism and burn excess fat, I'm not going to tell you to buy a supplement. I'm not going to tell you to cut out carbs. And I'm definitely not going to give you a 14-day cardio shred. I'm going to share 5 unsexy habits that actually drive sustainable fat loss. They're simple, they're boring, which is exactly why a lot of people blow past them. But they're effective, and that's what matters. Hey everyone, if you're new here, I'm Kiara. I am a certified nutritionist, PR practitioner, and mom whose goal is to help simplify health and wellness for those who feel overwhelmed. If you're looking for intentional, realistic, and sustainable ways to level up your health and nutrition, feel free to subscribe and check out the other videos in this channel. So what exactly is metabolism? Metabolism is how your body turns what you eat and drink into energy. To understand how your metabolism works, you need to understand your total daily energy expenditure, or TDEE. TDEE is the total number of calories or energy your body burns daily, and it has 4 components: basal metabolic rate, or BMR, thermic effect of food, or TEF, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT, and exercise activity thermogenesis, or EAT. If I lost you with this pie chart, don't worry, I'll explain a bit about each of them so that you get a clear picture. So going back to the unsexy, effective metabolism-boosting habits, you might actually already know them. They're nothing new or groundbreaking. But what I'll add on to this video is the simple science behind each one, as well as easy action steps to achieve these habits, because as we all know, knowledge is power. So let's get right to them. First, protein in every meal. Fun fact, your body burns more calories when digesting protein. This is where the thermic effect of food, or TEF, comes in. TEF is the energy your body uses to chew, digest, absorb, and process food. And out of the 3 macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat, protein has the highest thermic effect. It's the hardest to break down, so your body has to work harder to process it. That alone slightly increases the calories you burn every day. And more importantly, protein protects your muscle. When people don't eat enough protein, they end up losing muscle. And when muscle goes down, metabolism goes down. That's why some people can regain their weight quite easily after dieting and being protein deficient. Whereas, the more lean muscle you maintain, the more calories you burn, even when you're resting. Eating enough protein helps you hold on to that muscle so your metabolism doesn't go down while you're trying to lose fat. So in every meal, aim to have a generous serving of protein, around 1/4 to 1/3 of your plate. Think chicken, beef, turkey, fish, eggs, shrimp, tofu, tempeh, beans, lentils, quinoa, edamame, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. The next unsexy habit is walking more on top of working out. While structured workouts are absolutely great and beneficial, for some people, walking a few times throughout the day can actually have a bigger impact on total calorie burn than one workout. As you're walking, you're contracting your muscles. And as you're contracting your muscles, you're burning more calories throughout the day. This low-intensity daily movement increases your NEAT, or your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Your NEAT is basically all the movement you do outside your structured workout. And if you look at this pie, the NEAT can actually sometimes have a bigger impact than the EAT, or the exercise activity thermogenesis. Walking is especially beneficial after meals because your body gets better at burning the food you ate instead of storing it. So if you're having lunch at work, make it a point to stand up afterwards, step out of the office, and walk for just 10 minutes, or walk back to the office if you're coming from outside. And if you're having dinner inside, stand up afterwards, pace inside the house, or go outside, get some fresh air. So what's a good full day measure of walking? 10,000 steps a day is a popular target, but it can be unrealistic for some. Here in the Philippines, it gets too hot to walk outside, especially in the afternoon, especially during summer, like right now, and some people end up getting cooped up in their office for too long until the evening. So if you can aim to do at least 4,000 steps a day, you can already reap the benefits. Then maybe aim to add 1,000 steps each week. Weekly progression is also effective. It's the unsexy route since it takes a while, but you will see the results over time. Third is lifting weights 2 to 3 times a week. This is very important, especially the older we get. Again, we're building and protecting our muscle. Weightlifting or strength training sends a clear signal to your body: we need our muscles, don't get rid of it. The more lean muscle you have, the higher your resting metabolic rate, so you burn more calories even when you're not working out. Strength training also creates what's called the afterburn effect. After a workout session, the body continues burning slightly more calories for hours as it repairs and rebuilds the muscle. So it's not just about burning a lot of calories during the workout, it's also about upgrading your engine even afterwards for the long term. Strength training for 2 to 3 times a week is enough to preserve your muscles, improve body composition, support hormone balance, and keep your metabolism resilient. So just set aside 30 minutes per session and follow a reliable guide, whether it's a YouTube video or your fitness coach or fitness app. Then remember, target different muscle groups per workout: upper body and lower body. Lift close to failure to fully challenge and stimulate your muscle to get stronger. And aim for a progressive overload where you gradually increase the challenge over time by adding weight, reps, or intensity. Fourth is sleeping for 7+ hours. Sleep keeps your metabolic hormones working properly. If you sleep only a few hours a day, a few things happen. First, your hunger hormones get disrupted. Ghrelin, your hungry hormone, goes up, while leptin, your full hormone, goes down. Second, your body becomes insulin resistant. This means that it gets less efficient at handling sugar. Over time, this can lead to fat gain, especially if calorie intake increases. Third, your stress hormone called cortisol rises. It's normal for cortisol to be high at times, but chronically elevated cortisol can make fat loss harder and can also increase muscle breakdown to some extent. But if you sleep well, you'll be able to regulate your hunger and energy, improve insulin sensitivity, lower your stress hormones, and support muscle recovery. Sleep also protects your metabolism. In the pie chart, the basal metabolic rate, or BMR, has the biggest slice at around 60 to 75%. BMR is the number of calories your body burns at complete rest just to stay alive, like breathing, regulating temperature, circulating blood, etc. The key drivers of BMR are lean muscle mass, body size, and hormones, and sleep affects all of these. More reasons to prioritize your beauty sleep. And last, but definitely not the least, is staying consistent for months. This is probably the most unsexy metabolism-boosting habit of all. It's boring and can sometimes be difficult. Staying consistent for months is boring compared to a 3-day detox or a fat-burning supplement or quick metabolism-boosting hacks. But metabolism isn't something you suddenly spike and hope would stick around. It's something you build and protect through consistent habits if you want long-term, sustainable results. You build it by eating enough protein, walking daily, lifting 2 to 3 times a week, sleeping more than 7 hours, and repeating all of that for months. Muscle doesn't grow in 2 weeks. Insulin sensitivity doesn't permanently improve in 10 days. Your body doesn't trust short, inconsistent bursts of effort, but it does respond to repeated signals. When you consistently move, eat well, and rest, your body adapts upward. It maintains muscle. It regulates hormones better. It becomes more metabolically flexible. Showing up consistently is what matters here. And that's why it's unsexy. Because it's boring and it's slow. It doesn't feel instant or dramatic, and you probably won't notice much of a difference right away. But it works, and you'll see this in the long term. Many factors can affect your metabolism: muscle mass, age, hormones, activity level, genetics. When you hear someone say, "I have a slow metabolism, so it's hard for me to lose weight," it could be due to a mix of any of these factors, not necessarily just one. That's why quick hacks or magic one-off solutions won't work for everyone. But mastering the boring foundations will make the difference. I hope you took away some insights on metabolism in this video. The unsexy route is absolutely effective in boosting your metabolism, but if you're curious about one of the more talked about ways to lose weight, which is intermittent fasting, I have a video that covers the popular types of fasting, benefits, and watch outs for different types of people. Feel free to check it out and subscribe to the channel for more videos on simple nutrition, wellness, and motivation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.